Are you ready for the best damn sports radio show on the planet? Man Hour Nation, rise up.
I would like to personally welcome you to Man Hour After Dark. Say that while I bring you the host, Mike, Buck, get home. You know who coming to the stage. Sports talk than what you about to hear right here. I second that.
Go. You know that it's us when we talking about sports. Giving you facts on the field to the core. Tune in, we need the support. 1 hour too short, then listen some more. On all your stations, not dropping no music. Starts like Adidas, but Nike just do it. Down 4 in the 4th, we go for the win. Michael 2 seconds, we taking it in. Buck, Mike, and Combs, you know what's going on. Man, now we're out the dark, no LA, we the big spark. No 4th and inches won't cut short. Got the best talking, it's all sports. Buzzing more than buzz beaters. We coming live, all 3 speaks go.
And what is up, Man Hour Nation? Michael Buckasher here with the Man Hour. If you're on youtube.com/Man Hour right now, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Of course, hit that bell icon so you get all the notifications when we upload clips throughout the day. If you are over on facebook.com/Man Hour Sports Talk, come over to YouTube. That's where all the boys hang out. That's where all the fun chat happens. But we got a pretty packed show tonight. We're going to talk some NFC West draft breakdown. We're going to talk some more Aaron Rodgers, of course. We're going to talk some trades, Baltimore Ravens from the Pittsburgh Steelers. But we have to welcome the man that has officially been a part-timer here, Brandon B.C. Combs, my brother from another mother. What's going on, Brandon?
What is going on, man? What's going on, Man Hour Nation? What's going on, Buck, man? It's good to be back. Look, this new job has got me. I mean, I'm talking. Look, it's a great job. I love everybody that I'm working with. Met some new people in Milwaukee this week, and so it's been really good. But just to give you some perspective, by 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, I'll be at 100 hours in this 2-week stretch.
There we go.
So,
I mean, it's money in the pocket, man. But
yeah.
So once things start to calm down for you, because we always find that anytime you start a new job, like the first month, really, like you're trying to find your groove, like you're trying to find where you really fit in. Once that month is under your belt, you'll learn how to navigate, and you'll be on the show full time again. So I'm not worried about that 100%. And we're getting into the slower months anyway, so it is a perfect time for us to try new things. So
and plus, as soon as like ESPN or Fox or anybody sees this show and says, "Damn, these guys, I'm gonna be making more money doing Man Hour than I am working 100 hours a week," and that's the day that I'm looking forward to, man.
Yeah, I'm just looking for the day where I don't have to be up for like 40 hours in a row. That'd be fantastic. But Wyatt knows nothing about being up for 40 hours. I mean, he might sleep for 40 straight hours. So Mr. Bedhead himself just woke up literally 20 minutes ago.
He probably hasn't even worked 100 hours this year, let alone in a 2-week stretch.
For Man Hour, yes. For work, no, probably not.
So
I didn't get that time in at Jimmy John's, man. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It is Thursday.
Yes.
You officially have almost. It's almost been almost a full week since you called your first ESPN game. Have you had time to really step back and like reflect on what you've done?
Not really, honestly. I don't know. It's like plus this week's been super crazy too with like my graduation parties on Saturday. I don't know. It's been a crazy week. So, putting together everything because, school, we've only got 15 actual days left in each class because we do B schedule. So you're not in each class every single day. So getting everything ready for the end of the year to make sure you graduate, make sure everything's in line, sending your final transcripts off to college, all that good stuff. So no, honestly, no, I haven't had a chance to take a step back and look at it.
You've got 2 days before your graduation party, but 15 days before you graduate?
Yeah, so the reason why I did it like that is because all my buddies are going D1, like Winkers, Trey, and all of them. So I wanted to make sure they could still come to my grad party because they literally all leave as soon as summer starts. Winkers goes to Illinois State, Trey goes to Purdue. Everybody is shipped off right out the gate. So that's why I wanted to make sure everybody could still attend it and all that good stuff. So that's really the only reason why.
You were just trying to get more presents is what you were trying to do.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was trying to do.
Okay. Makes sense now.
That's what it's all about at the end of the day is like how
and
much
it's an excuse for free Chick-fil-A too. So
we got Facebook user who says, "What's up, bro? Buck, why don't you tell whoever the Facebook user is? Because we don't know who you're talking about, and this isn't a slight at you. What can you let these guys know how to get it so that we could see their profile name?
Yeah, so guys, so you guys are watching from Facebook there, and then in the description, like I didn't put very much in the description. I think just put like NFC West draft grades or something, and then at the end of that there is a link. You click on the link, and it allows StreamYard. That is a service that we use to pull the comments on the screen and like how we all look like we're in the same room, but we're not. We're, I don't know, 1,000 miles apart or so. But by clicking that link and you pushing the allow button, it allows Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Periscope, etc. to use your face or to use your name and your picture, just so we know like who you are. So, for example, Tori over here, he allowed StreamYard, and we see his picture. Man, that's a great picture, Tori. And then we also see his name.
Professional.
And he says, "Welcome back, part-timer," a.k.a. Brandon B.C. Combs. So,
yeah, hey, look, I mean,
God, why are they all coming after your throat, Combs? I think I know why.
You know why? You know what it is that once I started this job, I was like, I can only handle so much of Buck and his nonsense.
Pretty much.
That I really can only do 2 nights a week if I'm going to be working like this. So,
Combs, to be honest, I have been like trying to like speak for you just because Tori and Wyatt have been dogging the Chicago Bears and Justin Fields so much. I'm like, no, guys.
Oh, I've heard.
Listen, Justin Fields is going to be the best quarterback ever, right?
That is literally what I said. That is word for word what I said.
No, it's not, Wyatt.
I've been listening, boys.
Hey, speaking of Chicago, though, Combsy, how about them Cubbies, baby?
I know, man.
Rizzo last night.
Those bats are coming alive. And you know what? I texted you guys last night. I really hope that Hoffy this week has the Cardinals as number 1 because the Brewers, he put the Brewers at number 1. They haven't won a game since.
Right.
So I hope he puts the Cardinals at number 1 this week. So Hoffy, if you're listening right now, buddy, we need those power rankings to be Cardinals 1, Brewers 2, all the way for the rest of the season.
Well, and he had the Royals sitting at number 2, and they've lost like 6 of their last 10 or something.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
I mean, they're 17-14 now, all tied for first place with the Indians and White Sox. So
yeah,
that is crazy. Joseph says that YouTube has been YouTube's acting up. Facebook the move. YouTube's working fine for me. I'm watching it here.
I was going to say it looks good on mine.
Yeah, I'm on it
user
too.
Says Marlins less sweep, so he must be a Cubs fan. Like, are the Cubs playing the Marlins?
No, Marlins are playing the Arizona Diamondbacks right now.
Oh, that must be Drew, because isn't Drew like a Diamondbacks fan? No.
Well, Drew is actually. I saw it earlier. I don't know who did it, but somebody got Drew to come to YouTube.
Yes, sir. Drew became a member,
Yeah.
so you guys can also become a member as well over on YouTube. Click on the join button. It's a little 99 cents a month. You get discounts on merchandise. You get access to the After Hours show, which happens every Monday through Thursday at 10 p.m. East Coast time. And if you do the $5.99 and up, you get a free T-shirt after 6 months. $9.99 Combs. They get a
like the one that I'm wearing
every year.
Like the one that I'm wearing right here.
Yeah. I mean, actually, Combs, we're going to give them an option because we have about 3 or 4 T-shirts over at manhourradio.com there. So you guys will get to choose which T-shirt you want.
And we've got more coming because I'm going to work on some T-shirt ideas this weekend. So we've got some. With that being said, we've got some good T-shirts coming.
Yeah, and honestly, Combs, I think this baseball tee is my favorite, to be honest. It's just
I love this baseball tee.
They're awesome.
It's just a simple man-hour branding. So, speaking of which, I got everybody on the man-hour new shirts in the mail. Premium T-shirts, guys. So we got new merch dropping next week. So,
look at you go. The guy goes on a 40-hour shift where they're paying him extra money, and he's like, guess what, guys? I got you some T-shirts.
Yeah. So speaking of, Drew, perfect segue that I'm going to do here. He said, yes, welcome to YouTube, but hell has frozen over. You know what has frozen over? The ice. We don't talk a lot of hockey on the show, but last night, Combsy, let me pull up the correct facts here. The the Capitals and the Rangers, they had 7 fights in 5.5 minutes last night. Yes, you guys are hearing right. 7 different fights in 5.5 minutes of actual game time hockey.
So the full first line on each team went at it. 5 guys from each side went at it 5 seconds into the game.
Yeah, it was actually. I don't think they even dropped it. Like as they dropped the puck, they dropped the glove.
Yeah, it was literally 1 second as soon as the puck hit the ice.
Yeah, it was just
jeez.
It's insane.
So basically, what happened was the night before, not last night, but the night before last night, there was a player. Combs, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he was a Capitals player.
Tom Wilson.
He was basically beating up a player that was already like on the ice, and he
twice
kept picking him up and throwing him down, picking him up and throwing him down, and he only got a $5,000 fine. The player that he was picking up is out for the season. I'm assuming with a concussion or something, but he is out for the rest of the season.
Yeah,
and the Rangers did not like that too much, so they took it upon themselves to basically saying, Gary Bettman, you did not do your job. We are policing ourselves. So Combs, you are a hockey guy. You like hockey more than baseball, right?
No, almost though. Almost as much.
So hockey is good at policing itself.
Yeah.
Do you like the way that hockey polices itself, and you think other sports should kind of like follow suit?
So I do. I mean, fighting's always been a part of hockey, and when you put, when a guy like Tom Wilson, who's got a history of being a dirty player on the ice, does the things that he's doing, and then does what he did to Artemi Panarin, I mean, it's disgusting. And then when Gary Bettman comes down and the NHL comes down and levels a $5,000 fine, not a suspension, a $5,000 fine, right. The night after this guy injured a guy and sent him out for the season, you're going to give him a $5,000 fine and no suspension for a dirty play. I mean, so, yeah, I have no problem with hockey policing itself. Actually, if you ask me, there has been less and less of this over the years. I mean, dude, the Colorado Avalanche and the Detroit Red Wings in the 90s, if you want to see a bloodbath, look up Colorado Avalanche and Detroit Red Wings brawl. Look it up, because I'm telling you, it's going to be 5 minutes of the greatest thing you've ever watched in your entire life. I mean, there was blood everywhere, and we need more of that in hockey, man. We need more blood everywhere in hockey. There's just not enough of it anymore.
Comes like blood. There's blood everywhere. It was awesome.
Yes, that's what hockey is, man. Yeah. Look, hockey is the sport where guys get cut with
where
a
cocaine is legal,
and they go into the locker room and they get 45 stitches and they don't even miss a shift. Okay, but LeBron gets a cramp and 17 players got to carry him off the court.
Oh my God!
Give me a break.
Here we go.
So, Wyatt, you are a football and an NBA fan. We see hockey police itself, year after year after year, game after game after game. Should we see more player policing in like NBA and NFL too?
I mean, sure, it's fun to watch. It would never happen, though. Are you kidding me? These NBA players fighting now? There is no way. Literally, Jason Tatum the other day slammed a ball on the floor, and a ref called a technical for it. And he wasn't even being derogatory at all. He missed a layup and was running over and just papped it down and had a smile on his face and everything.
LeBron
and the
drives the lane, doesn't get touched, gets missed by 15 feet, and falls down and flops. But you imagine if somebody actually punched that man?
You find
Forget
me.
it.
He has been punched. I have pictures, evidence, because I hate when people say that, of LeBron with people hitting him in the face and tackling him. It has happened.
So
just not recently.
So basically, why you were saying that the rules of the NBA, like the refs need to lighten up. They need to let the players play and police themselves. So, how can we police ourselves in the NFL? I mean, because like obviously, like fighting happens a lot more than we see. It's just not on camera at the bottom of the piles and stuff like that. But
I don't know. I
think
think
you police that.
I think the NFL is the happy medium. I think you have hockey, of course, who like basically in hockey, if you wanted to, you could bring out a switchblade knife and just go to work.
So what you're saying is hockey is Republican, basketball is.
He said a switchblade.
You could, and then you've got basketball where if you blow on somebody, it's a technical foul. So, but football is that happy medium where
foul. Don't you ever blow me, Wyatt?
But Jesus. But in football, if you get
Oh,
into
my
a fight,
God.
they let it kind of fizzle out a little bit. Then they separate everybody, and then people get fines, maybe a game or two suspension, and they call it even. I think football's kind of the happy medium.
I don't think football's allowed to police themselves. Baseball polices itself. You throw at a guy, you hit a guy, and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
Football doesn't. It's hard to police yourselves in football because you can't get into a fight. You can't. I mean, if you do, you're going to get a penalty. You know what I mean? Like,
How am I smoking?
because you're saying football polices itself. Football doesn't police itself.
No, I'm not saying it does. I'm just saying it's a happy medium of fighting and like their ways of punishment and
Not
stuff.
really. I mean, you can police yourself by if a guy comes over the middle or something, you hit him a little harder than. But you're trying to kill that guy anyway. I don't know. Like, ask Buck Nasty. He knows all about it. You come over the middle, he's laying your ass out, right?
Yeah.
So
Wide receiver slants are middle linebacker's favorite.
No, you want to know what my favorite is?
What?
A little running back. Let's say Darren Sproles, 5'7". He thinks he's going to block and then kind of like swing out for like a swing pass. I sniff that out like a bloodhound on like some blood trail. Phew, man, I am head hunting that motherfucker, and I'm laying his ass out every time. Every time I'm laying his ass out. And like, I'm not going for the body. I'm not going for the fourth knees. I'm going for the left shoulder.
Buck,
driving him through the turf, in out of bounds, and then pissing on.
See, that's where you don't want to play against a guy like me, because I'm gonna come across the middle, and as I do, I'm gonna stop real quick and ask you a question, and while you're stuttering, I'm gonna catch the ball and run.
See, fun fact here, Combs, I don't stutter on the field. Because my mouthpiece like does something to my tongue, and I talk perfect English, so I might actually start wearing a mouthpiece for the show.
Just get a retainer, man.
Just like
throw a retainer
in. Show you, right? So we are going to take a quick little break here, but Combs, let me ask you this question: didn't old time hockey players carry brass knuckles for the fights?
I think that was a movie once that did that, but I don't think that they
Oh
did
my
that.
God.
The thing with the old timers is that nobody ever wore a helmet. So
Yeah.
like, I mean, dude, old school hockey, man, you want to see some hits. Ooh.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy.
I like that one too. Football players punching each other in the head with helmets as dumb as hell.
Yeah, well,
So,
that's
I
why
got a story for you
you
guys
just
to play
go
against the show on
Pittsburgh
that one.
Steelers and just take off your helmet and beat a guy over the head with it.
Miles Garrett rips Mason Rudolph's helmet off his head and hits it with it.
Dude, that's still the funniest meme ever.
was
The
incredible.
meme where he's got
I was
half of his
watching
head
it
dented
live.
in. Oh man. I
Oh
love
my
it.
God.
So I actually have a helmet story for you guys on the after show.
Oh, boy.
Tonight. So if you are not a member yet, you should join and hear that great story. But we're going to take a quick little break. On the other side of the break, we're going to break down the NFC West draft picks. The draft was last Thursday through Saturday, and we are working way through divisions and breaking down each team best and worst picks as well. So we'll be right back here on the Man Hour, guys. Stay tuned, relax, and enjoy. Grab a soda, because we'll be talking some Packers, I'm sure. Drink. We'll be back.
Oh.
Nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that.
All right, guys. So I have no idea literally what is going on with the break stuff now.
Ain't nobody got time for a break, apparently.
Yeah, but so every time I would click on a break, it would say this video can't be played, and even like the built-in default 30-second timer thing said it couldn't be. So we're just going to roll with it. So welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Here, if you missed any part of the show whatsoever, you can find us on iTunes, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. And of course, you can always find us on YouTube.com/Man Hour, and then hit that bell icon and get those clips.
See, what happened was Buck made all those videos, so they stutter, and the videos just going one to the other, and we just couldn't get it all.
Maybe Combs, we can only play the same little music clips so many times. We're like, it's time for some new music.
Yeah, that's all right. We didn't need to take a break anyway. Let's keep talking sports.
Yeah, let's go ahead and keep talking sports here. So let me, man, I'm not even prepared. Let me pull up my notes, because usually during the break I pull up my notes and get ready to go here. But like I was saying, guys, the Browns was last weekend, and we've been breaking down each division going forward. So we are going to start with we're going to go to the NFC West now and start with the Arizona Cardinals. They didn't finish 8-8 last season. Kyler Murray took big strides. The Arizona Cardinals picked up Hopkins from the Houston Texans this last season as well, and they've been busy this offseason too, picking up AJ Green to fill some more wide receiver voids here. So I'm going to kick it to Wyatt first here. Wyatt, in your eyes, who was the best draft pick for the Arizona Cardinals this 2021 draft?
Well, you talked about them picking up DeAndre Hopkins, great addition. You talked about them picking up AJ Green, was a great addition. But do you know what was even awesome as well as an addition for them? Wide receiver Rondale Moore out of Purdue. The guy is a freaky fast guy. I believe he's 5'9", somewhere around the 195 range, and can squat 700 pounds. 700 pounds while at Purdue. The guy is an absolute monster. Like I said, freaky fast. Just an all-around great player that is going to succeed in the NFL. We all saw what he did to Ohio State 2 years ago. He absolutely annihilated them. And if not for a knee injury this year, we could have been talking about a Heisman candidate because of how dynamic of a player that he is and how great of a playmaker that he is. So this was a big addition for them, and somebody that's going to be with their team for a very long time and is going to be awesome for them in the future.
So why, I'm not trying to tell you that this is a bad draft pick or like whatever whatsoever, but what does 700-pound squat have to do with anything translating to the football field, especially as a wide receiver? I mean, you don't really use your legs that much, right?
I mean, no, you use your legs to get up off the ground for power, to lift yourself off, to truck through people. You use your legs all the time. You run.
I was trying to troll you, just to try to trip you up there a little bit.
The thing that I have there is, and Rondale Moore is actually the worst draft pick I have for the Cardinals because of how risky he is with his injury past. I mean, he did have that knee injury, but he gets hurt a lot. It wasn't the first injury that he's had, and so for me, that was a very risky pick for them. And so I just wasn't happy with that pick of Rondale Moore for the Arizona Cardinals because of all of the upside that they already have in their receiving core. I just felt like this was just a depth move for them, and that could have been made later on in the draft.
So Combs, who was the best draft pick in your eyes for the Arizona Cardinals then?
It was definitely Zaven Collins. I mean, you got a really talented, really exciting young player who is an addition to an already very exciting defense. I mean, that guy is going to be very, very good. And when you line him up in that secondary that the Arizona Cardinals already have, I mean, that defense is going to be so. We talked about the Browns defense and how scary the Browns defense is going to be. That Arizona Cardinals defense is going to be nasty this year. If they can, average 20 to 25 points a game, they're going to be hard to stop.
Yeah, I mean, well, I think you can pretty much say that about any team. Like, if you average 25 points a game, I mean, you're going to be hard to stop one way or the other, because anytime you're playing from in front, like, it makes that defensive job a lot easier. So, Combs, you said that Rondale Moore was the worst pick for the Cardinals, but is that the worst pick for you for them?
Yeah, that for me, that was the worst pick for them was the Rondale Moore, just because, like I said, I mean, it's just a very risky pick considering his injury history, and so I'm not saying it's a bad pick. It might turn out to be a very good pick. He might be a good compliment for DeAndre Hopkins and them, but I felt like that was a move that could have come later in the draft. Obviously Rondale Moore probably wouldn't have been available, but there would have been other names that you could have drafted later on in the draft.
All right, so Wyatt, your best pick was Combs' worst pick. So is Combs' best pick your worst pick for the Arizona Cardinals?
Yes and no. I think that it was a tie between getting Zaven, and I think it was also Tay Gowan, cornerback out of UCF. Really, honestly, the Cardinals I don't think had a bad draft. I think they had the best draft in this division. So once again, just going with these two guys, because if there has to be a bad pick, I guess it would be those two. The only reason why I didn't like Zaven Collins was because it has nothing to do with on the field. They just could have got Zaven a little later in the draft. I think Zaven's one of those guys that could have gone in the late 20s and early 30s, possibly even slipped to the second round. I mean, we saw Owusu Koromoa fall that low. So if they didn't get Zaven Collins, they at least would have picked up Owusu Koromoa if they would have traded down farther in the draft. I think that where they were sitting at, I felt like Najee Harris maybe would have been a good pick for them, because considering they just lost Kenyon Drake. They did add James Conner, but let's be real here, James Conner hasn't really done anything except for the one good year he had where he popped off. So it was really a tie between that. But as for a whole, the Cardinals didn't really have a bad draft. So like I said, the pick of Tay Gowan and the pick of Zaven Collins is really just me having to choose a bad pick, because I don't think any of it was really a bad pick.
But Zaven Collins, you say he would have been available later on in the draft. This is a guy who in 3 years in Tulsa had 236 combined tackles.
The stats are there, but yeah, the stats are there, but you also got to think, who was Tulsa playing? He wasn't playing as good of competition as, say, somebody who played at a Power 5 school.
You still got to make the tackle,
who played.
Though.
Well, I mean, you do, but we'll take a look at Owusu Koromoa out of Notre Dame. Yeah. He had incredible stats, but also played at Notre Dame, played in the college football playoffs twice, played some really big competition in the regular season. That's what Notre Dame always does. So the big thing with Zaven, yes, the stats are there because he played easier teams, but also I still don't think Zaven was a bad pick. I just think that if I had to choose a bad pick, I would say that
in college of the easier teams, or at that rate, you are what you're playing against a competition that is the same competition of your school, the school that you went to, the school that you got, whatever, the school that you got a scholarship to, or whatever. If you're a D1 player, you're a D1 player. If you're a D2 player, you're a D2 player, and you're playing against D2 competition. You're playing up against the same competition as your level is. So because you can't hold it against a guy for outplaying his level because of the conference that he plays in. I mean, if anything, I hold it the opposite way, which is what my argument was against Trevor Lawrence, is because this guy's playing at Clemson, and he didn't play a top 10 team in any regular season game his entire career.
But he also killed everybody. He never lost a regular season game.
Of course he killed everybody. He was playing against subpar competition.
I don't know about that. I mean, he played some decent teams.
But you can say that about Zaven Collins, though, huh? Okay.
Well, I didn't disagree.
So let me defend both of you, but
I never said Zaven Collins was a bad pick.
Let me defend both of you, but not both knock you both down at the same time. So as a linebacker myself, I had easier time in high school than JUCO, just because of the fact that my nose guard was shitty in JUCO. In JUCO, I played with the worst front four ever, and it made my job terrible because I had to consistently fight off blocks and dig around with tailbacks and crap like that. But in high school, my defensive line was dominant. We killed people. So with that being said, Wyatt, when you play at that lower Power 5 conference, or the lower Division 1, your defensive line will not be as good. So that makes that linebacking job a little bit harder. But then in your defense as well, with that defensive line not being very good, that did make his job a lot harder. So therefore, he should be better in the NFL when he has a better defensive front of him. So I'm kind of torn. But
in December, Tulsa played number 8 Cincinnati. So you know what that means? Zaven Collins played against more top 10 teams in his college career than your boy Trevor Lawrence did.
How did they do against Cincinnati? Final score of that game. They got
hung it
killed
until the fourth quarter. Then Cincinnati blew them out of the water, if I'm not mistaken.
No, Cincinnati beat them 27-24.
The first time.
Oh, okay.
But
No, that was the second time.
Well, so what was it? So I think they played back to back because they played the final game of the regular season, and then they played for the AAC.
No, they only played. They only played
right?
Cincy once this year.
Yeah.
Okay, then-
AAC title game was them and Appalachian State, wasn't it? Or no, was it Houston?
I can't remember.
I can't remember either.
But either way, what grade do you give the Arizona Cardinals in this year's draft?
Yeah, like I said, I think it was the best draft for this class. So with that being said, I give them a B+. I think it was a solid overall draft. I think they filled the needs that they had. I think like I said, I don't really think there was a bad pick overall. I think they maybe reached a little bit for Zaven. That's really the only knock that I had. Like I said, they filled the spots they needed. They still did a decent job at drafting everybody. So like I said, I give them a B+.
What about you, Combs?
I'm going with a I had him at a B, so I had him a little bit worse than what Wyatt gave him. I gave him a B on their grade.
Alrighty, so just go ahead and jump in the chat here. Tori gives him a C-. I also saw that Joseph gave him a C- as well, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe I haven't seen that. No, that was Tori. But yeah, he says Zaven and Rondell were the only good. The rest were trash. So.
What? Jeez, Tori. Dang.
Wow. We also have to remember the Cardinals didn't really need much either, though. The Cardinals were already a good team heading into this draft.
Yeah.
And they got better out of this draft. They didn't get worse. They got better out of this draft.
Well, you should get better, right? Because you're drafting players.
Well, yeah, tell it to the Raiders.
Yeah, so so let's go ahead and move
They're
on
terrible
to the next
drafting.
team. The LA Rams here. I about said Raiders. The Rams
LA
finished
Raiders
10-6 last season, but they are a different looking team right now. They traded for Matthew Stafford in the offseason, sending Jared Goff to Detroit. So Combs, I want to kick it to you first here. What was the Rams' best draft pick this year?
So I'm going to take the easy way out on this one. They didn't have one. This was a horrible draft for the Los Angeles Rams. They didn't pick until pick 57, and when they got to pick 57, they completely reached and went with Tutu Atwell with their first
Hold
pick.
on now.
He can fly, but he's 5'8", and he's 155 pounds.
T.Y. Hilton, Tyreek Hill, Tariq Cohen. That's all I'm going to say. Darren Sproles, Wes Welker. There have been shorter guys.
Are you
who are
comparing
successful.
that guy to these guys?
No, I'm naming you short. No, I'm
That-
naming
yeah.
you short players.
Tattoo
That were
Outlaw.
good.
This guy is named after a guy, after a midget who used to go deplane. That's what this guy is named after. And you're over here saying comparing him to Wes Welker.
I am not comparing guys. I was naming short players that were shorter than him.
You're all right, but this guy is not that. I'm short too. You'd think I would have done well in the NFL?
Well, you don't run like a 4.40 though.
This guy is going to get blown up in the first time he gets hit, and he's going to die on the field. And we're going to be like, oh, bye, Tattoo.
It's 2-2.
Yeah.
It's not even
Yeah,
Tattoo.
that's even worse. I'd rather be named Tattoo than Tutu.
Yeah, so did the Rams really need a receiver, though? I mean, I don't think they did. Because they have Cooper Kupp still, and they have one of the best.
It was a horrible pick. Yeah. Horrible pick. They did not have a good pick at all whatsoever.
So you gave us a work pick, so we'll go ahead and flip the questions around since I asked you what the best pick was.
I don't have a best pick. There is no best pick. They didn't have a good pick.
So why?
Their best pick was their first round pick when they didn't do anything because they didn't screw it up.
Well, technically their first round pick would be Matthew Stafford, right? Since they gave a first round pick for
That's
him.
true.
All right, so sure, that's their best pick.
No. Their first pick was Jalen Ramsey. They gave their first round pick this year for Jalen Ramsey.
Oh, okay,
so that's a pretty good alternative.
Maybe
the best corner in the league.
Second best. Why? Who is their best pickup this year?
Best pick. Come on, you guys already know this. Who was it? Combs. Who? Tutu Atwell, baby. Go Cards. He flies. The speed
it's even
is
worse. He's named
incredible.
after a girl's skirt.
Incredible speed. I got to see this guy play in person multiple times, and he is so exciting to watch. I mean, the dude flies.
Yeah, if you're
going to
go watch the practice squad play.
He is... Shut up. He is such a deep threat. Cunningham loved throwing to him. I mean, he was awesome at Louisville. Go watch his highlight tape, and he knows how to take hits. He knows how to fall. That's the same thing that T.Y. Hilton knows, and that's why T.Y. Hilton has lasted in this league.
He knows how to get laid out.
He knows how to get laid out, yeah. I can't wait to see this guy go up against freaking Isaiah Simmons and Zaven Collins twice a year, who are absolutely going to murder this kid when he comes across the middle.
So, Wyatt.
Rondell Moore is just as small.
Well, Wyatt doesn't even know what to say. Wyatt's like, because you know it's true. This kid's
Devonta Smith is small.
On the field, he's going to get murdered.
Devonta Smith is small. Nobody ever says that.
Devonta Smith is a good wide receiver. This kid is not.
Tutu Atwell is a good wide receiver. Go watch his college tape.
No, he's not.
He is a great wide receiver.
Where's he from?
Louisville.
Drink.
Yeah, exactly. Now I know. Never mind. No, yep.
So
I'm telling you.
So Wyatt, before we get to your worst pick here, you brought up Rondell Moore, and you said Rondell Moore is small too. Rondell Moore is 5'10", 170 pounds. Rondell Moore has 30 pounds on Tutu.
Yeah, I'm just naming short guys.
My 17-year-old son has 30 pounds on Tutu Atwell.
Do what? Say it again, Buck.
My wife is bigger than Tutu is.
Dude, your son dropped a deuce in his diaper today that's bigger than Tutu is.
What? How big is Devonta Smith? How big is Devonta Smith?
He's 5'8", like 170 pounds. That was my biggest knock on him, was he is going to be running the slot and run some
I don't care. Size, in that case, doesn't matter. T.Y. Hilton has shown that. Go watch T.Y. Hilton play football.
Yeah, but you have to be good.
These guys are good.
Tutu
How
Atwell,
are they not?
Tattoo Atwell, whatever you want to call this little man, he is not a good football player.
Go watch his highlight tape.
He's not an NFL.
I will send you it.
You know what? I'll watch it over and over and over again, because that's the last time you're ever going to see him play is on highlight films on YouTube.
Yeah. So, Wyatt, you gave us your best pick, even though it is not a very good pick at all. Who was your worst pick?
Worst pick was Bobby Brown, defensive tackle of Texas A&M. I really didn't think that there was any need for that pick, and plus, I know he was the leading tackler at Texas A&M, which he had a nice resume coming into the league. All that stuff's great, but nothing really jumps off the scale of me for athleticism for this guy. He's not really that crazy good of an athlete. He played in a good conference, so I think he will be more NFL ready. Because of that, him playing in the SEC, of course. He faced some really good offensive lines, which will make him a little better, but still thought it was a little bit of a reach, A. And B, I also thought that, they didn't really need a defensive tackle. I mean, they've already got Aaron Donald. The defensive line is pretty stout there as it is, and it's got nice depth as well. So I was kind of confused as a sense for why they needed to go that direction.
Well, anytime you add a guy named like Bobby Brown, that's a great pick. Bobby Brown's a great
Anytime that you add somebody named Tutu Atwell,
you're going to have Bobby Brown. What are you going to do? You're going to bring a girl named Whitney on the sideline so you beat the crap out of her?
Yikes. That went sideways.
Combs, who is...
They got Bobby Brown and Tattoo. Good
Tutu.
Tutu, whatever.
Who was your worst pick there, Combs?
All of them. How many times do you want me to say all of them? They were all horrible. The Rams had a horrible draft. They needed so much help offensively, and they got nothing. They got Tutu Atwell from Louisville. And the only reason why Wyatt knows who he is because he went to Louisville.
No, I followed that kid in high school. He went to the same high school as Lamar Jackson. He had 8 touchdowns in his state championship game.
Oh, God. I can't with this guy, man. I can't.
Tutu Atwell is going to be a beast. He's going to be a beast in the NFL.
Draft grade F minus. F minus. Well, you keep talking about Louisville. I have to keep drinking.
Jeez.
Why? What is your draft grade for that?
I give him a C. I think it was average. I don't think it was anything crazy. I don't think it was anything terrible. I give him a C. It was average. I think Tutu's going to be a great player in the league.
You're average.
You're average. I think... One day, Combs is going to look at me and be like, Wyatt, I was wrong about Tattoo, all right?
I would never be wrong about tattoo.
All right, so moving on to the next team here, the San Francisco 49ers. They went 6-10 last year. Jimmy G is still on their roster. They had a interesting draft, to say the least, but there's more off-field interesting stuff that's happening that we'll get into later in the show. So, Combs, I want to kick it to you first. Who is the best draft pick for the San Francisco 49ers?
The best draft pick for the San Francisco 49ers is obviously Trey Lance. I mean, you can't really go against that. They got their quarterback of the future. They got, the third best quarterback in this draft. And so that was a huge pickup for them. They did pass up on the second best quarterback in this draft, which was Justin Fields, which thankful for that. But, that was definitely their best pick, though. Trey Lance is a phenomenal quarterback. He's going to be the quarterback of the future for the San Francisco 49ers. And he's going to be there for a long time playing really good football at a really high level.
So I will get into what I think they're going to do with Trey Lance later, but Wyatt, what do you think they're going to? What do you think their best draft pick was?
Yeah, I agree with Combs on this one. I think that it was Trey Lance, of course, simply because they didn't go with Mac Jones. I mean, you literally go 0 or you go hero on that pick, and they went hero, not 0. So they got away without getting Mac Jones, and I think that's going to help their franchise in the future. Trey Lance is a heck of a pick there. I like Trey Lance a lot. I think he's going to be a good quarterback in the league. He is a really weird prospect, though. I mean, there's a lot of upside and downside to him because when you think about it, there is not much like film against great defenses, but at the same time, he dominates them solely to the point to where he looks like he could have played for a Power 5 conference. So that is the biggest thing that all the draft experts were saying, was that it was just such an interesting prospect because of everything going into it with, him and his team playing now and all that stuff. I mean, it's a very unique situation, and I think he was possibly the most unique prospect of all of them in this draft. But with that being said, I think this was a really good pick for them.
And Trey Lance and I'm sorry, Zach Wilson was already off the board. To me, it was Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, Trey Lance were the top 3 quarterbacks in this draft.
So, why not to troll you, but sometimes you make it so easy. So you were just dogging the Arizona Cardinals for drafting a linebacker, and you basically said that he played no competition. He was
You all twist my words like a major news outlet does with people in interviews.
Because you're the waffle. We don't twist your words. You're going to twist them in an hour anyway.
I never once said that Zayvon Collins was a bad pick. I just said
I didn't say that, but
you said it was a toss-up. You said it was the worst pick. You said your worst pick was a toss-up between Zayvon Collins and the other guy. What do you mean you didn't say it was a bad pick?
I said it's not a bad pick. If I had to choose, it was a bad pick. Then I guess I'll go with that one because they reached for him a little bit. I never once. I said with the college thing. You said, oh well, he had the 160 something tackles, and I said, well, he should because he's playing against terrible offenses. He should have those numbers. I never once said that it was bad.
That is exactly what I just said. Because so you were saying that he was a reach because he was playing against bad offenses. Wouldn't Trey Lance be a reach too since he was playing against bad defenses?
No, because Trey Lance absolutely dominated everyone. Okay. Dominated.
Xavier Collins.
Xavier Collins did not dominate like Trey Lance did.
If you guys want to follow Wyatt on Twitter, pick. It's manhour_TWW. It is TWW stands for the White Waffle.
So, with all that being said, Wyatt, who was the worst pick for the Rams?
You said the Rams. It's Bobby Brown for the Rams. No, I'm just kidding. No. Right, for the 49ers, it was Elijah Mitchell, running back out of Louisiana. I didn't really see much of a need for a running back there. I thought that was completely pointless. It's not a depth adder. I mean, this is a guy who will probably be cut from the team after camp. There was literally no point in wasting a pick on Elijah Mitchell because they've already got, 4 running backs that are capable of starting out there? Yeah. I mean, literally this year it was like every running back got hurt and it was like, oh, next man up, next man up, next man up. And then they'd all get hurt, and then the first one, it was a cycle. Like, the first one would get hurt, then the second one would, then the third, and the fourth, and by the time the fourth was hurt, the first was healthy again, and then the second was healthy again, and then the third, and it was like this weird line. So, I don't know. Maybe he does get some playing time, actually, since everybody gets hurt out there. But, no, honestly, I don't even think he'll make the actual roster. It was a pointless pick because they've already got, 4 capable running backs on rosters, so it makes no sense to me why they did that.
All right, Combs, what about you? Worst pick?
Yeah, for me, I thought they had a really good draft. It was hard for me to pick a bad pick, but I think their worst pick is probably the coolest name in the draft, and that's Diamador Lenoir. That's a freaking whole mouthful. Diamador Lenoir is a...
That a kid, Wyatt. Way to get it, man.
Anyway, oh, God.
Combs, welcome back to the Man Hour, where we are 16 at heart, even though we're like.
Is that what she
50,
said
right?
before or after French toast?
Shut up.
After she put the syrup on the French toast. So, Combs, 49ers, you gave us their worst pick and their best pick in Trey Lance. What kind of grade would you give them for the draft this season?
I gave them an A. I thought the 49ers had a really good draft. Trey Lance getting your quarterback of the future. And then not only that, but then also the pick of, God, I can't remember his name right now. Trey Sermon was a really good pickup for them as well.
Yeah, Sermon was a good pick.
Yeah. So I really liked everything that the 49ers did.
See,
even Diamador Lenoir isn't a horrible pick, but it's just...
I want to take a moment here once you're
he's
done.
the worst of the good picks. So I did not have a bad pick, really for these guys. So I gave these guys an A.
You want to talk about me waffling, okay? But yet, just a few months ago, Combs was like, "Oh, Ohio State, I hate Ohio State. Justin Fields is terrible. He only looks at his first read. No, Ohio State sucks." And now he's like, now listen to him.
Twisting
now listen
words.
to him. Oh, Justin
Now
Fields
who's
is great.
twisting words?
I can't wait for Justin Fields to get in here. I can't wait for Trey Sermon's going to be great. Trey Sermon's going to be great.
Have we talked about the NFC North yet? I have not been on here to talk about the NFC North. So if I was on here to talk about the NFC North and I talked about Justin Fields, I would tell you I still have a little bit of concerns about the way he holds onto the ball too long, the way he has a tendency to not check down. So there are some concerns with Justin Fields, which I still do think he needs to sit a year and learn the system. I don't want him to come out and play unless he just goes out and just like absolutely dominates in the preseason. But
He'll be the greatest Bears quarterback of all time.
I agree with that, but there are still some concerns in his game.
Wyatt, grade for the 49ers.
Great for the Niners. C+. Once again, I thought it was a little above average draft, but still right at that average line. They go with some great picks like Trey Sermon. And you've got Trey Lance, of course, and you get a guy like Elijah Mitchell. It makes absolutely no sense. Their later round picks made no sense to me. I mean, they were trying to fill depth at places where they didn't need depth, it seemed like to me. So, the beginning of the draft was great. It was like a mountain. It was like, boom, straight up beginning, and then they just tanked at the end. It just made no sense to me. So, because they got their quarterback, I will give them a above average because they landed a good quarterback. So I give them a C+.
So, guys, one thing that I think Wyatt, you are kind of really like overlooking is the fact that the 49ers had at one point, I don't think they had a starter on the field last season just because that injury bug hit everybody on the San Francisco 49ers. So they were just a Super Bowl team just a couple years ago, and they still have that really core team there together still, and they're back healthy, and then they added depth. So I think the 49ers did do good. Much like the Bucs, they are a pretty stout team anyways, and they added depth where they needed it.
That's actually been a trend in the NFC is going to a Super Bowl and then just all of a sudden disappearing, like the Rams. The Rams did that. You got the Niners. Right. The Buccaneers will do that once Tom Brady leaves. Of course, if the Packers could get there or could have got there, they would have done it as well as soon as they chased Aaron Rodgers out of town. So it's kind of a trend in the NFC.
Well, so with that being said, the NFC West has one team left that we need to grade, and that is the Seattle Seahawks. They did not have a first-round pick, so Russell was trying to leave town, and he still is in town. So it didn't seem like they drafted a quarterback, or they need a quarterback. So who is the best draft pick for the Seattle Seahawks?
One good pick. Not great. I don't even know if I could say good. Decent, maybe. Barely above average. Stone Forsythe, offensive tackle out of Florida. They filled a need there. It was an okay pick. It was a decent pick. Absolutely terrible draft. absolutely terrible draft. We'll get to the draft grade in a minute, but my grade for them is not that great because, once again, one good pick. They didn't have a first rounder.
They didn't have any. They would have 2 or 3 picks in this draft.
Yeah, they only picked I think 2 or 3 times. Yeah, something like that. So, and with what they did with those picks wasn't great. I felt like, like I said, the only good, and I don't even know if it would be considered good, decent pick they had was Stone Forsyth, tackle out of Florida, was where I went.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had 3 total picks, a second-round pick, a fourth-round pick, and a sixth-round pick. So not a lot of choose from here, so kind of a process of elimination here. But Combs, who was their best pick?
I agree with Wyatt. I think it was Stone Forsyth in the 6th round. A whole lot of upside for that guy, especially considering he was a 6th-round draft pick. And so that's where I would go with it. Not a whole lot of tape on Stone Forsyth, but he is probably the best pick out of those. I really did not like the pick of Dwayne Eskridge. I really thought that was a reach, man. I mean, that kid, he's already 24 years old. He didn't have any seasons where he had more than 38 catches at Western Michigan. I almost felt like they just picked a name out of a hat and went with it.
Right. So I believe didn't Antonio Brown come out of Western Michigan as well? Maybe
he did.
Kind of making a reach for that. Maybe kind of tying some strings together and hopefully.
I mean, that's a reach.
No. He was Central Michigan, wasn't he?
Central. It was some Western Central.
Something Michigan.
Yeah.
They got 95 schools in Michigan, so
right, and Wisconsin too. So, who was their worst draft pick?
Their worst draft pick, Combs just mentioned, I think it was Dwayne Eskridge, wide receiver out of Western Michigan. Once again, they filled a need that they didn't need. You've already got one of the top receiving cores in the league. Why are you adding depth at wide receiver? I have no clue. Maybe you should add a tight end. You need some depth there. Offensive line needs help. Defense needs help. Pretty much the only 2 positions that didn't need depth added was wide receiver, quarterback, and running back, and they touched pretty much everything but the stuff they needed. So, like I said,
and that's the
horrible
thing.
draft.
We just named a bad draft pick and a good draft pick, and we named all of their draft picks.
Yeah, no kidding.
So, fun fact here: Tyler Lockett is in a contract year, so he could very easily be out of Seattle. So
yeah,
why not?
Antonio Brown was at Central Michigan.
So
see, Tori Anderson, you tried coming in hot. Tori Anderson says, AB was Western Michigan. Learn your stats, noobs.
It was Central Michigan. I knew. I thought
Central
it was.
Michigan. Noob.
Yeah, noob.
I knew it was Central Michigan, too. Noob.
Yeah, noob.
Part-timer.
No, I said Western Michigan. But let me go ahead and put Tori in time. Now, he's been a bad boy. So, guys, we're going to
Why'd you say it like that?
We are going to take a quick little break. On the other side of the break, we got Way or No Way coming up.
Are we going to have the stuttering break videos again?
No, I deleted them.
I didn't even get to grade the Seahawks.
What do you want to grade them?
D+.
Colton, what do you want to grade them?
I had them at a D-. All
right.
Let me switch mine to an F.
F-.
E+.
F-. Mine.
Double G's.
Z.
Double D's. Nuts. Hey, welcome back. We are going to Way or No Way here on the Man Hour. Man Hour Nation, you caught me off guard there, Buck. I read the rundown wrong. I thought we were going to the other one. But anyway, we're back with Way or No Way. And I know he even said we were doing Way or No Way, but whatever. Boys, are you guys ready for this? This is everybody's favorite segment. Way or No Way. I give you guys...
The rundown literally says 8:45, and it's
I already said I read it wrong, Buck. What do you want from me? Tell this kid to stop talking about Louisville and tell him to stop saying with that being said, and then I wouldn't have to drink.
Way or no way, Brandon Combs makes this show so much better.
Way. That's an absolute way. You guys will both say no way, but off the air, you guys say way.
Yeah.
I'm going to say or. I'm going to choose the middle option.
All right, guys, so we're going to get it going here. And this is something I wanted to talk about a little bit. So I'm going to bring it to you guys. There's a lot of talk going on here about baseball here in Chicago, especially on the south side. So I'm going to ask you guys this. The White Sox need to move on from Tony La Russa already.
God, that was fast. But, I will say, Combs, you did call it that this being a disaster. So, I think, way. If he's going to drag your club down, and a club that should be much better than they are. Mercedes, who we talk about a lot on this show, is on fire right now. Didn't he have the second highest batting average in the MLB?
Like 370 or
something ridiculous, almost 400. So, it's incredible. So, I'll say way.
I'm going to go with no way because, correct me if I'm wrong, but the White Sox are tied for first place in their division at 17 and 13.
God, I'm so glad you said that.
13. They are 16 and 13, tied with first in their division.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want from them? Do you want them to be 27 and 0 right now, Wyatt? Come on, no way. Tony La Russa is a old school guy.
I wanted him to be 28 and 0.
They are whatever it is. They are going to get those guys ready for playoff ready. You know what? You are a victim here. You say you know what you need when you don't want it, or however you say it. Tony La Russa is a damn good manager. He has been doing it for a long, long time. He is going to whip these new school guys into shape. I bet you by July they are banging trash cans, they are stealing signs, and they are throwing at people's heads because that's what old school baseball is all about. No way. Come on, man.
Let me take you to school. Let me take you to school here, okay? And here's why this is absolutely a way, okay? For one, Tony La Russa yesterday in a doubleheader did not know that there was a rule that in extra innings your pitcher does not have to be your extra runner, okay? Didn't even know it was a rule. Because he's 95 years old, and he's not going to learn new rules.
Listen,
okay, that's the first one.
And he didn't read.
Exactly. The second thing is, I don't care if they're in first place because you know what? Let me take you to something you understand because you don't understand baseball. So let me talk some football with you. Back when the Bears were going to the playoffs and they had this
many
kicker
moons ago
named Cody Parkey who couldn't hit a field goal to save his life.
Double doink.
There were signs all season long that Cody Parkey could not hit a field goal. So then what happened? You went into the playoff game with a kicker who you knew could not kick a field goal. So now, put that into these baseball terms, you want to go in with a manager who doesn't know the rules of the game, who makes bad decision after bad decision this far into the season. You're going to bring that into the playoffs knowing you got a guy who doesn't know the rules and makes bad decisions? No. Cut your ties right now with Tony La Russa and move on. Absolutely way.
Combs, yes or no? Are the White Sox in first place?
Yes.
Yes or no? A level of a champion in Chicago is simply making it to the playoffs, right?
No.
Come on, man. When's the last time the White Sox won a world championship?
2005. 2005, you moron.
That was before Wyatt was born.
No, it's not. Oh, my God.
2005. Wyatt wasn't even a twinkle in his daddy's eye. Anyway, keeping it with baseball here. Got some news today from the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Albert Pujols is being cut, and they part ways with him. So I ask you guys this. Albert Pujols is going to sign with the Cardinals to finish off his career.
No way. He is going to L.A. to join with the greatest pitcher in all of baseball and in the world and of all time, Trevor freaking Bauer. And they're going to go win a pennant. That is all. Albert Pujols joins the Dodgers, and they win it all. You're welcome.
Trevor Bauer got his butt whooped by the Cubs the other night. Just throwing that out there.
He did. And I was happy to see that. But, everybody has a bad night,
Way or no way?
Combs, as a magical storybook ending that would be to, sign with your team and retire and end on the high note here. Albert Pujols wants to finish his retirement trail, much like what Derek Jeter did and Alex Rodriguez and those big name players. They want to go to all these stadiums and kiss the fans and wave to the babies, and I said that backwards on purpose if you catch my drift. but basically he wants to be the center of attention at moving on. So he might take a month off, but he is going to find his swing back. He is batted below 200 right now. I think he has
he batted below 200 last year too.
Yeah, well, but with that being said, there is going to be somebody that is out there that is going to be looking for that designated hitter type of player, maybe a role player to come in and pinch hit a time or two. And I think he is going to sign on a team that is on the I-70 there, and no further than Kansas City Royals. I think he's going to end up in Royal Land, and they're going to get that extra designated hitter that they have. They're going to give Salvi some much needed rest throughout the season, so not to hit, do nothing. Like he just get drunk and hang out in the clubhouse all day. So he does sign, just not with the Cardinals.
Where is he going to find his swing? I mean, I know he's in L.A., so maybe he meets up with Macklemore and goes to the thrift store or something, and that's where he finds a swing. But this guy, look, he's going to sign with the Cardinals on a one-day deal to retire as a Cardinal because he cannot play the game of baseball anymore. Nobody is going to say, hey, yes, we know you're Albert Pujols, come on in here and completely destroy our lineup and don't hit. That's not going to happen. Albert Pujols is going to sign a one-day contract with the Cardinals and retire.
No way. Yes way.
All right, time to make Wyatt happy. We're going to get some basketball talk here.
Yes, sir.
James Harden says he is set to return prior to the playoffs, which is something that Wyatt had said would happen. So let me ask you guys this. Harden returning before the playoffs makes the Nets the team to beat in the entire NBA.
Oh, that's tough. Yeah, probably because LeBron James having his issues coming back, with him not being 100%. I'd say, yeah, they probably are the team to beat with them having three, the big three, then you add Blake Griffin, really makes it a big four now. And like I said, all three of the big three plus Blake Griffin, they're all going to be healthy come playoff time. They're all going to magically show up, and it's going to be like, oh, hey, that twisted ankle I had last week, cough, cough, Ramadan, I'm here, right? Everything's fine. So they're all going to be there for playoff time, and I think it does make them the team to beat, especially in the East, because personally, I don't think anybody's beating them in the East. I think it's Lakers, Nets. I think that's been set up for a while now. So, but yeah, I mean, I think they're the team to beat right now in the league.
Oh, Wyatt.
Go ahead and tell me how they're going to lose in the first round, Buck.
They are
to the 8th seed.
No, because right now, first of all, they're sitting second, so they'll be playing the 7th seed, which is probably going to be the Miami Heat. Miami Heat sitting at solid 7th place right there. And yes, Miami Heat is not playing very good right now. They're Mr. Wyatt Williams. But you know what? Playoff Jimmy is coming, baby. He is going to put that team on their back.
I hope he does.
Jimmy Butler was kicked out of his house at 13 years old. This guy has been living the gangster lifestyle on the street, adopted by a white by a white mama, pounding his snowflakes. Miami Heat is going to beat the Nets in the first round. So no, Combs, no way that the Nets are the team to beat, because I can give you 4 other teams that are the better teams than them: the Bucks, 76ers. How about the Utah Jazz? They're in first place now. They're Wyatt in Western Conference.
They've been in first place for a while. I know.
Well, but like ever since who's that player that got hurt? His name's slipping my mind right now.
No, that was for the Nuggets.
Yeah, but
Jamal Murray.
Even the Nuggets are doing good. Right.
Hey, that's because the Joker is playing out of his mind.
There are 4 or 5 teams in the NBA that are better than the Nets. I mean, you can have all the superstars you want. How many times have they played this season together, Wyatt? 10?
That doesn't matter.
It is because they're all overrated and they got vaginas. No way, Combs.
Canceled.
Oh my god!
Jeez.
This is absolutely a no way. These guys are. I agree with
They're
Buck. They're
pussies.
vaginas.
How about that?
Yeah. And you know what? You don't have on an NBA court. You don't have a hose so that you can clean all the sand out of those vaginas. So what's going to happen is these guys are going to end up getting hurt again, and they're going to end up getting knocked out of the playoffs. This team is a joke. There's so many teams that are better than the Brooklyn Nets, and they're not the team to beat.
You know who else is better than Brooklyn Nets? The Knicks.
D's nuts.
My bad. Wrong button, guys. I apologize.
I was gonna say that's not the jingle.
All right, guys, that's
All
going
right.
to be it for Way or No Way, or do you got one more?
I didn't get to my last one.
Okay, we got one more. My bad.
All right. So yesterday, I look up our fantasy baseball league, and I'm like, holy crap, I'm losing by 25 points to Wyatt. I'm like, all right, you know what? Let me pick up a pitcher. Let's see who's available. Who's going to have a good game today? I'm like, oh, you know what? Look at John Means' numbers. His numbers are trending up. You know, then they're playing against the Mariners, so he should have a good outing, not give up a ton of runs.
No-hitter.
And he goes out and throws a no-hitter, baby. A no-hitter. And I gained 46 points out of his no-hitter, and now I'm beating Wyatt by 58. So I had a good day. So I ask you guys this. Our Sunday segment on sit, start, and cut. You guys need to start listening to me more with your fantasy baseball teams. Way or no way? It was kind of a good pickup, wasn't it, Wyatt?
No way. You got lucky you got a freaking no-hitter that put up, like, what? How many points did he put up for you? Like, what, like 60?
46.
46. Jeez. That was sheer luck.
So, Way or No Way?
No, I said no way.
What do you mean? I looked at the numbers. I said, look, I'm going to pick up John Means. There were 6 starters that were listed as better than him as on available to pick up. And I went through the list, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go with John Means. Just saying.
That's fine. Hey,
Alrighty,
lucky
Combs.
guess.
So, I am looking at my fantasy baseball record here. I am 0-4.
You should really start listening to me.
My highest scoring week is 120 points. My highest scoring player is 16 points.
And you still got a chance to beat Tori this week, so you want me to help you out?
Yeah, and I still got a chance to beat Tori, even though I got like 5 players with negative points. Hell yeah, I should listen to you more. That's the reason why we had this segment. I mean, my fantasy team fucking sucks. Let's just be flat honest. It is the worst fantasy team that, like, I mean, like, we have a 4-person team, and I don't even know anybody on my team. I'm just like, yes, Way. Yes, listen to Combs. That's why we had this segment. Listen to him. Sheesh.
I agree. You guys got to start listening to me. Buck, we're going to talk after the show because we've got to get Tori into that loss column.
I hear a horn.
You're only by 25 points.
I hear a horn. I hear Combs' horn, and who's tooting it? Oh, Combs is tooting his own horn.
Yeah.
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
Drink.
Jesus.
You know why you should listen to me? Because I went to Louisville.
You did not go to Louisville. You're not that cool.
No, you know why? Because I'm educated.
Combs, the college you went to is the college that I'm going to in like 2 months from now.
Yeah, maybe they'll teach you how to not say "with that being said" 15 times in a row so I don't get drunk on the show.
And with that being said, before we do get canceled, because I'm getting loosey-lipped over here because I'm so delusional with like 40 hours of being awake straight, we're going to take a break, and we're going to talk some more sports headlines, guys, after the break. Stay tuned. We'll be back in a minute. And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckeyes on with not Tori Anderson, Brandon Combs, and the Wyatt Williams tonight. Let me welcome the boys back onto the screen here. If you missed any part of the show whatsoever, you can find us on iTunes, Spotify, and iHeartRadio, or of course youtube.com/Man Hour. Go ahead and hit that subscription button right now. And if you haven't done already, go ahead and hit that like button for us as well, guys. That'll be highly, highly appreciated. So let's go ahead and reel the show back in here, and let's start talking some sports here, some actual sports, because fantasy sports just irritate me right now because, man, I'm getting beat by Tory. Sheesh. I haven't won a game. Moving on. Why, let's talk about your Green Bay Packers here. The Green Bay Packers have come out and said that they are looking to add quarterbacks to their OTAs and mini camp roster. So if you guys have been living under a rock, Aaron Rodgers basically wants out of Green Bay. He says there's nothing I can do.
Did you guys see what was?
Can do. What?
Did you guys see what came out today on that situation with John Kuhn?
Yeah.
So John Kuhn spent the day with him either yesterday or today, talking with him, and apparently John Kuhn came out and said that he is very optimistic that the Packers will work things out. So old Mr. John Kuhn, who broke up fights between Mike McCarthy, Aaron Rodgers, between teammates, everything, the guy who was literally the depender for the Green Bay Packers offense, has come through and possibly saved the day yet again.
Not gonna happen.
If he does this and Aaron stays, and it's because of John Kuhn, I will be purchasing a John Kuhn jersey.
Not gonna happen.
The day that I hear about it. I'm telling you.
He's done in Green Bay. Just accept it.
So what?
I believe John Kuhn.
Okay.
So
I believe everybody else who's not associated with the Packers.
Go ahead, Buck.
You don't.
What did Brett Favre say?
Yeah.
What did Brett Favre say? What did Brett Favre say?
Well, of course Brett Favre said that.
Here's how it goes. Here's how it goes. If they say anything bad, we're not going to believe it. But if they say something good, we're going to believe it. Okay, so basically, you should just go run for office and talk about COVID.
Hold on, Combs. If you were looking to talk to someone about a situation, would you talk to the person that literally had a bad experience and had issues himself with the situation, or would you talk to someone who has literally been a peacemaker for the franchise for 20 freaking years now? Who would you trust?
I would listen to Aaron Rodgers, who said, "I want out. There's no way I'm coming back." That's who I would listen to. The source.
I feel optimistic that this will get worked out. I do.
Of course you do. You're a Packers fan. You're hoping it's true.
I do hope it's true.
So since you are so optimistic, why would the Packers front office saying that they are looking to bring quarterbacks into minicamp and OTAs?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, you have to. If Aaron Rodgers is going to hold out, he's holding out for OTAs and minicamp. If he's threatening not showing up for the season, why would he show up for OTAs? How many teams
pick up a quarterback just to show up for OTAs and minicamps? And not only that, but they're looking for a veteran quarterback.
How many times has this ever happened? How many times has this situation ever happened? Zero. There has never once been an MVP quarterback leave his team the next season. This has never happened before. This is a new situation, so we can't say how many times this happened because this situation has never happened before. The Packers, of course, they have to be precautionary. Aaron Rodgers may show, and if Aaron Rodgers shows up to OTAs, I can guarantee you those quarterbacks that are there are asked to kindly leave.
Okay,
Jordan Love
user.
might even be kindly asked to leave.
At least my comments have my name on the screen, Facebook user. Combs is just pissy because he knows the Green Bay local grocery store clerk would help the Packers to more wins at quarterback than the Bears. No, it's not about that. It's the fact that I'm realistic when I look at a situation. You're right. The Bears have never, ever in their history developed a quarterback. They're horrible at that.
Right here it is.
I've been the first one to say it all the damn time.
Look at this. Aaron has never once said anything himself. It's all been leaked info. That is 100% true. That Aaron Rodgers has never once came out and said any of this.
I know because Adam Schefter, he's not a reputable source at all.
Adam Schefter is the only one. Adam Schefter's report is the only one I believe so far.
How about AJ Hawk?
You know why Aaron Rodgers wants out?
Yes.
Because they've done a horrible job of building around him. You Packers fans are so delusional. I just spent freaking 2 days up in Milwaukee talking to nothing but Packers fans, and they're just like, oh, well, you know, the Packers. You Packers fans talk to Bears fans like you are the 27 Yankees, and you've won 30 championships. You've had a top 3 quarterback of all time, spent his entire career there in Aaron Rodgers, and you've gotten 1 championship out of it. So congratulations at being so great at developing a quarterback that you've gotten 1 championship out of it. What did the New England Patriots do with a quarterback who couldn't even sniff a starting role at Michigan behind Drew Henne? They won 7 championships with the man.
The GOAT. You're comparing the GOAT, who is like...
Yes, because right now, let me ask you a question. Is Aaron Rodgers just as talented as Tom Brady?
On their career, no. I think
he's more talented than Tom Brady. He's more mobile than Tom Brady. He's more accurate than Tom Brady. He has a stronger arm than Tom Brady. Absolutely.
But at the end of the day, he's not Tom Brady. The separation between Tom Brady and second place is huge.
No, you know what the separation between Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers is?
What?
The Green Bay Packers and the New England Patriots. One built around their quarterback, and the other one's failed to do it his entire career.
Yes, that's true. I agree with you. I never once said that they didn't build around Aaron. They absolutely never built around Aaron. They have done a horrible job of his entire career. But to say that a Super Bowl is not successful, that's terrible.
These Packers fans like Facebook user 1.2-0456 because you can't put your name on your damn comment because you're scared.
It's Soup Boss.
Don't come at me about we're this
is
and
we're
really? That.
Yeah, that's what
Jeez, crow. I hope it's Soup Boss. All right, Soup Boss, get your ass on the damn show. If you can comment, you got time to come on the show. Let's get you on screen, Soup Boss, because we would have a full go-around of our old TSS show. I love that, man, so much.
So, let's go ahead and think about this realistically here, Wyatt. Realistically, Aaron Rodgers is not talking to the front office. You said it yourself. Actually, the comment section said that nothing has come directly from Aaron Rodgers' like his mouth. But also what hasn't come in from Aaron Rodgers' mouth either, saying that he's coming back to Green Bay Packers either. So he is letting the fire build itself, and he is fanning the flames by not saying anything. So
because he's trying to figure out new questions for Jeopardy.
So realistically here, Wyatt, where does Aaron Rodgers fit on an NFL team if it's not in Green Bay?
Aaron Rodgers fits... I think he fits in Denver. Another place would be, I think New England would be a good fit. A big one would be, and this is not going to happen, would be the Saints. I think the Saints would be a huge fit. They literally just got rid of Drew Brees. They're in desperate need of a quarterback because their quarterback room, it consists of an interception machine and a running back. So, I mean, literally their quarterback room consists of a guy that can't figure out if he's a running back, tight end, quarterback, punt returner, kick returner, punt blocker, or punter. He can't figure out any of it. He has absolutely no clue. And once again, you got the interception machine there too. So they would love to have Aaron Rodgers.
Let me get to this real quick. He said, hold up, Combs. You're telling me Deion Branch is a Super Bowl MVP was building around Brady. Wes Welker was a effing backup field goal kicker. Edelman was a Kent State quarterback. You dipshit. Horrible takes. I love you. That's Soup Boss again. And then Tori Anderson, Combs gets off to pictures of Aaron Rodgers when we aren't on camera. Says the guy who is a closet Bears fan, Mr. My Bears. I heard you on draft night even though I wasn't on the show. I heard you. I heard what you said. Oh, my Bears. My Bears. Yeah, exactly. Mr. Closet Bears fan. Yeah.
So,
go jerk off to more Dick Buckus pictures.
Wyatt that he thinks he would fit great in Denver and New Orleans. He didn't give us one answer. He gave us two in typical Wyatt Williams fashion here, man.
I actually gave you three. New England as well.
Three. Okay. So, Combs, where would Aaron Rodgers fit?
Anywhere. Seriously, anywhere. This guy is
Wyatt
a top
waffles
three
around. He chose 3, so Combs chooses 32.
31.
Because he would fit in anywhere, but
no, anywhere is Green Bay
if you want one team that he would go right now to and make them an instant, for right now he would set them up for the next 20 years. If he went there, it'd be the San Francisco 49ers. Go there, let Trey Lance sit underneath you for 3 years, win 2 Super Bowls with the San Francisco 49ers, and then let Trey Lance come in and take over that show. That team would be unstoppable for the next 20 years.
So, why you gave us 3 teams, Combs, you gave us 31 teams. So, realistically,
I gave you one that he would set up for the next 20 years at least.
Right. So, but on the flip side of the coin, realistically, the Packers are not going to let him go for cheap. They're probably not going to let him go to an NFC team either. So, it's a AFC team that could probably give him a lot of draft capital. So, realistically, Combs, where could he possibly end up?
Realistically, I think the Denver Broncos. I think the Denver Broncos are the landing spot for him. I think they're going to make a package up. It might even, they might even get, name me a player. The best player on the Denver Broncos, Von Miller. He's Teddy Bridgewater. He'll probably be a part of the deal.
I actually saw something the other day that was not a bad trade. People were like grinding out these potential trades, and they said the Browns and the Packers, okay? So Green Bay would give up Aaron Rodgers, and we would give up a 3rd-round pick or a 4th, one of those two. And then the Cleveland Browns would give up Baker Mayfield, 2 firsts, and a 2nd.
No.
If that was the case, I would totally do that.
Of course you would. Anybody would, because that's a horrible deal for the Cleveland Browns. You're going to give up a future Pro Bowl quarterback plus 3 picks for a guy who's going to be in the league for 2, maybe 3 more seasons?
He is in the league for much longer than that. He's only 37.
He's 37.
Yeah.
He's got, if he plays till he's 45, Combs,
if
that means he's got 8
how
years
many
left.
quarterbacks have played till they're 45?
0.
How many?
2?
0.
2, but in the last how many years?
Let's say in the last 20 years.
Aaron Rodgers, but that's a recent trend.
Right,
Legendary
but you're talking about Tom Brady. You're talking
play
about Tom
till they're
Brady,
old.
who you just poo-pooed when I compared him to him.
I did not.
And now you're telling me
I
he
said
can
he was
do
the
the
GOAT.
same thing?
Hold on, I said he was the GOAT.
You're right, but you poo-pooed it when I said that Aaron Rodgers was just as good as Tom Brady and more talented. You poo-pooed the comparison of Aaron Rodgers to Tom Brady, and then you're going to go and tell me that he can do the same things that Tom Brady can do?
Yes. Has he not shown? You said earlier that he is skill-wise better than Tom Brady. You said it yourself.
He was, but they've already wasted the best years.
He had his best year last year, Combs. He was 37 and got an MVP.
And what did they do? What did the Green Bay Packers do? He had his best season ever. He said, you know what? I don't want to play because you guys don't help me. They drafted a cornerback.
Exactly. It was terrible. I'm not agreeing with the front office. The front office has done terrible things. I've said that for 2-3 years now. I've been saying that the Packers front office is going to single-handedly chase Aaron Rodgers out of Green Bay. They are single-handedly going to do it, and they finally have. They've gotten to this point. But I feel decently confident enough now.
Rodgers is not playing until he's 45. Rodgers playing until he's 40, maybe.
What makes you say
that?
Because,
for one, Aaron Rodgers, I don't think Aaron Rodgers wants to play till he's 45.
He said he wants to.
Okay, well, all right. He's also said publicly that he doesn't see himself playing anywhere other than Green Bay. Yeah, see how far that went, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, whenever he thought everything could work out, and then Matt LaFleur and Gutekunst looked at him and goes, "Oh, we're going to trade." They threatened to trade him. Of course, he wants to leave. Then,
yeah.
So this is not Aaron's fault.
So before I talk,
it is his fault because he could have ran to the corner of the end zone and won a Super Bowl this year.
You guys are just spewing crap out your mouth. So I want to bring in the logic here. But before we do that, let me go ahead and bring up some comments here. Facebook user says that he said he could play till 45, not that he can do the same things. Absolutely correct. You can play till 45 if you want, but if you have to run for your life and sling it like all the field, Aaron Rodgers is not going to do that at 45 like it well. And then Tori says, #no Jameis in Green Bay. So Holmes, it was just a couple weeks ago. I think it was us 3 on the show, and you brought up a pretty good point about the draft. You said you think that the 49ers and the Green Bay Packers have this wink deal saying, "Hey, 49ers, you draft Trey Lance, and then you send Trey Lance to us, and we'll send you Aaron Rodgers." The reason why I believe that now, Combs, like at first, I was like, there is no way. Because of the fact that every report that we saw saying that the 49ers were leaning towards Mac Jones. Mac Jones was their guy. Mac Jones.
It's that June 1st cap hit.
But then as soon as the draft happened, they drafted Trey Lance. I'm like the flags are going off in my head like, damn, Combs is right. The San Francisco 49ers are going to send Trey Lance, next year's first-round pick, maybe a wide receiver or two. They have a stable of running backs back as well. They can send some running backs and some
Green Bay
pieces for Aaron Rodgers. Guys, Aaron Rodgers is going to San Francisco. Trey Lance is going to be a Green Bay Packer. Face it.
No matter what.
I would not be surprised 100%, but it would have to happen after June 1st because whatever that cap hit, like it's the stupidest rule ever. If you trade him in May, you get this much cap hit, but if you trade him on June 1st, it's like $15 million more. Get the stupid.
That is fine, but Aaron Rodgers is going to go for more than just one first round pick. Carson Wentz is going to go for a first round pick. Worst come to worst, if Carson Wentz and the Colts don't make the playoffs, he will still be worth a second round pick. And Aaron Rodgers is triple worth what Carson Wentz is. So, with that being said, Aaron Rodgers is 100% worth 2 firsts and a second, and possibly even another player. Absolutely. Possibly even more players.
You technically are getting 2 first picks just because they told the 49ers to draft their quarterback, Trey Lance, and then they're getting a first-round pick next year.
No, I'm saying 2 firsts, a second, and a player. I don't care if the player was drafted this year. That is what teams have offered. Denver offered Drew Lock. Denver offered Patrick Surtain, Drew Lock, 2 firsts, a second for Eric Stokes and Aaron Rodgers. They were going to swap the first-round corners, swap quarterbacks, and then Green Bay was going to get 2 firsts and a second. That's already been offered.
Yeah, but that's for Drew Lock. That's not for a good quarterback. You're getting Trey Lance. Trey Lance is 10 times what Drew Lock will ever be.
Well, that's true, and Drew Lock's not going to be the answer. Drew Lock is just somebody that's caught in the middle there. And
if I'm giving you Trey Lance, the only draft picks I'm giving you are 3rd or later. That's it. Your first round draft pick is Trey Lance. That is your
Aaron
first round
Rodgers
draft
wins
pick.
them a Super Bowl. He's worth the Super Bowl, so I don't think in any way that
so you get Trey Lance and you get a 3rd and a 4th. You don't get a first or a second if you're getting Trey Lance too. So you're getting a quarterback that sets you up for the next 15 to 20 years.
No,
and you want a first and a second round draft pick too?
Trey Lance is not coming to Green Bay. Jordan Love is going to be the next quarterback in Green Bay. Unless if they trade him, but he will stay in Green Bay and be the next quarterback. Unless if Jordan Love is package dealed with Aaron Rodgers and leaves Green Bay, then Jordan Love will be the next quarterback of the Green Bay Packers.
You're out of your mind.
Why would he not? They used the first round pick on him.
And the Bears used one on Mitch Trubisky. How'd that work out?
Well, okay, that's totally totally different situations.
2 playoff appearances.
ESPN literally even called him a disgrace. Okay,
it is 2 different. It is 2 different things. You're right. One went to the playoffs twice, and the other one hasn't sniffed the field yet.
What do you say? Trubisky sniffed the field? He's sniffed the defense and didn't know what it was and threw it to him.
Trubisky
what did he
went
do
to
in the playoffs
twice.
What did he do in the playoffs?
Nothing. That's why he's no longer with the Bears.
Exactly. He was trash.
But just because you used a first-round pick on him doesn't mean he's the future. If you have a chance... So you're telling me you'd rather have Jordan Love than Trey Lance?
I don't know. I think that's a really good question, actually. I think it's tough. Jordan Love is a good quarterback. I mean, go watch the college tape. He played... Literally, they're actually very similar whenever you look at it. Because Jordan Love played at Utah State. He was... never compare the Bears' access to any other team.
Supos finally found the button that put his name on his comments. Congratulations, Soup, on that. But he says never compare the Bears' actions to any other teams. You're right. I mean, look, the Bears' actions of the past you cannot compare. But this year was a very different Bears team, though, Soup. So, I mean, this year's Bears draft was really, really good.
You're right. The Bears were a top 10 team through half of the NFL season and fell to the bottom 10.
I literally said it. The worst 5-1 team of all time. And then what do they do? Trash.
Can I talk now?
Okay.
Yes, go ahead, Buck. Sorry.
Louisville.
I'm passionate. Sorry, go ahead.
Yes, so let's go ahead and move on and continue our NFL talk. That Aaron Rodgers conversation went a lot more sideways than I thought it was, which that's why we are live, raw, and uncut. We're just going to skim past that.
I love this, man. Can we please have Supos? Look, can you please just pick a day, Soup, where you can come on the Man Hour? Because I'm telling you, man, we had some arguments back in the day on TSS. I mean, Buck, you've seen a few of them. If you ever get a chance to go back and check out some of those old clips from TSS with me and Soup Boss, man, we went at it a lot. You think I'm crazy on here? You should hear us scream at each other.
All right, so moving on to some sign and trades that has happened. Former Steelers offensive line Vanilla Wafer just signed a 2-year deal with the Baltimore Ravens. But that
Did
is
you
not...
just call that man Vanilla Wafer?
We've got tattoo and Vanilla Wafer. It's Vanilla Wafer and tattoo.
Wafer. You said Vanilla Wafer?
God. Vanilla.
What the hell?
What do you guys? I mean,
I thought I was
said
drunk.
Vanilla Wafer on my rundown.
It's Villanueva, you idiot! You are the master of butchering names. Like, you are the master of butchering names. I'm surprised you even know how to pronounce your last name.
It took years of soap and sticks on the butt, but
Vanilla Wafer.
But Vanilla Wafer did sign a 2-year deal with the Baltimore Ravens. But that's not the real news here. The real news is the fact that the quote that he said during the interview. Why? Do you remember what he said in the quote?
We got to pause here.
Yeah, pause just a second.
We got
Have you guys ever done a podcast over the? Have you guys ever done a podcast over the NFC East yet? Love this. Yes, we have. Actually, 2 days ago, we did. Yes, Monday. Yeah. As well as we have an awesome interview along with that with national champion Allie Stumler for the Kentucky Wildcats volleyball team. So absolutely go check that out. If you want to drop your Twitter or Facebook or something, I'll even send you the link after the show's over. But just check for our Monday show, and it has our NFC East grades. As well as, we had a really good interview in there as well. But yeah.
So what's this $4.99 thing attached to his name? I've never seen that before.
He paid $4.99.
Yeah. So
thank you for the donation.
Comment.
Yeah.
He dropped us a super chat, and definitely thank you for that super chat, man.
Thank you so much, man.
You are helping us get to Vegas for next year's draft. So
that guy's my favorite. You know who I didn't?
Says, let's go.
Soup Boss, I didn't see you drop no $4.99 chat. We ain't even talking to you no more now.
Yeah, I mean, Soup Boss is also over there on Facebook. You need to come over to
Vanilla Wafers for the new mascot.
Make it happen. So
Vanilla
get
Wafers.
back on Twitter. So I want to call him Vanilla Wafers for the whole show.
Appreciate it, buddy.
That is the coolest nickname ever. So Vanilla Wafers quote. Why? Do you remember what he said, or do you want me to read it?
Go ahead. I don't remember what it was.
So basically, what Mr. Vanilla Wava said is that playing for Pittsburgh was very hard last season when the game plan is a 100% passing almost every game. Also, when your wide receivers are more worried about making TikToks than actually winning the game. So this is coming from an offensive lineman from the Pittsburgh Steelers that just signed with the rival team Baltimore Ravens, and there's a true rivalry here. I mean, like, the people hate the Ravens. So why? I'm going to kick it to you first. Are we starting to see a crack in the Pittsburgh Steelers foundation? Because we saw Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell both leave on kind of sour notes, and now we're hearing this from a starting offensive lineman for the last 5 or 6 years with the Steelers. Like, are we seeing a crack in their foundation?
Yeah, no, I definitely think there's something there. We talked about this all season, the annoyance that we all had with Juju doing those dances and stuff. It's like, dude, can you just stick to football for a little bit? Like, they went on this 11-0 run. He starts doing the TikTok dances, and then they literally cannot win a game after they went 11-0. Like, they went 11-0 and couldn't clinch a playoff spot until the last week of the season, if that tells you anything. That is how bad this dancing got involved with the season. Juju Smith-Schuster took literally too much time to dance instead of warm up before games, and dance after games instead of warming up. My favorite thing all year that happened was he does this dance on the 50-yard line and says something about, posted on TikTok, says something about how he's going to lay somebody out in the game today. No less than an hour after that was posted, Von Bell absolutely creamed him on an out route. He turns around to try and go upfield, and Von Bell basically says, "Who's your daddy? I'm your daddy," and sends him in the other direction. And he coughs the ball up and everything, and the Bengals jump on it, and then it's Bengals ball. So At that time, the Bengals had, I think, 2 wins. They were like 2-9-1 and beat the 11-0 Steelers whenever he was dancing on the 50-yard line saying he was going to lay somebody out. So, yes, this dancing definitely got in the way all season long. It was something that should have been stopped by the coaching staff, and they never did. I'm not sure why, but it got way out of hand, and it affected their season. I personally think that it caused some rifts through the teammates. We're literally seeing this now as people leave, and I think it's the reason why they lost to the Browns. I mean, I'm not trying to take anything away from Baker and all of them right now, but they got killed. Okay,
Come on.
The last time before that the Steelers lost at Heinz Field to the Browns, Baker Mayfield was 3. He was 3 years old.
Yeah.
When the last time the Browns beat the Steelers at Heinz Field. Not in a playoff game, just at Heinz Field. That was the last time. Baker Mayfield was 3. The starting quarterback for them was 3. So I think it played a big part in their season. I think it's why they fell apart there at the end. Do I think they would have beat the Browns? No. I think the Browns played a really good game whenever they played them. But do I think it at least would have been a game, not like a 40-point game? Sure, absolutely. The Steelers completely wasted their season and all over TikTok dancing.
Combs, you want to go or do you want me to go?
Well, I mean, look, I don't really have much of a take on it. There's no, like, TikTok dancing or whatever. I mean, like, it's a new generation. Social media is a thing now. You either have to, embrace it or don't embrace it. But at the same time, it's always going to be there. It's not going away. So,
Wyatt, you mentioned TikTok dancing. How long does it take to do a TikTok dance? How long is a TikTok? 30 seconds?
I mean, a minute at most, but,
okay.
You got several takes on it.
So you are telling me that a minute in pregame does not get me ready for the game? I can go out five minutes earlier and do a TikTok dance and then go get my headphones on and loosen up. True or false here, Wyatt? While all those TikTok dances were happening, the Pittsburgh Steelers were 11-0.
Kind of there at the end, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the TikTok dances started once they were like 9-0. Something like that. Or no, 5-0, and then they did, hold on, I remember what it was. They did one at 5-0, then they did one at 10-0, and then they did one at 11-0, and then that was it.
Okay. The only reason why that was it is because they got tired. The Pittsburgh Steelers were a damn good team. They were 11-0, and then they played 3 games in like 11 days. So absolutely crazy on on that 100%. So for Wyatt to come out here and say that TikTok was the demise of the Pittsburgh Steelers is absolutely asinine.
Why is Soup Boss coming at me? He says Combs is an old effing grub. Don't ask him. I don't get down with these punks and their TikTok rabble. I actually watch TikTok all the time. I send these guys TikToks all day long. There's no I don't have a problem with TikTok. I just said it's social media. It's here to stay. It's not going anywhere. So either embrace it or don't. If your guys are dancing before the game, having a good time, then what's the difference between what Odell Beckham Jr. used to do with the headphones on, dancing in the end zone? It doesn't take away from the fact that between the lines, if you suck because your team is playing TikTok before the game, then you've got more issues than TikTok.
They do, and that's what
Period.
all those issues are surfacing now. Finally, it took all this time, and they finally now surfaced. Once Villanueva left, once like Buck said, it's the crack in the foundation, and now that everybody's leaving and they're all taken off, it's showing. It's now showing like, hey, this is why we left. Like, we were all tired of this. This is happening. This is happening.
So you are saying, why, that there is a crack in the foundation. Is the crack in the foundation Mike Tomlin being such a player's coach, or is it the ownership, or is it Big Ben? Like, where is the crack of this foundation happening?
I don't know. I think it has to do, honestly, with the players that are not focusing on football more than they're focusing on TikTok dances. I don't think it's necessarily Tomlin's fault. I mean, Tomlin's never had a losing season his entire career. He's the 6th coach ever for them. I mean, I think that's. I don't think it would be Tomlin. So, I guess just the guys dancing. I mean, Chase Claypool and Juju Smith-Schuster. If I had to say somebody, I think that's.
So you are saying it is the players on the team that is the issue. So
yes,
shouldn't a coach be able to reel that in and say, "Hey, stop"? But he's not, is he? So the coach has to be the crack of the foundation.
I think he did tell him to stop, though. Because remember how they weren't allowed to dance from like week, 12 through the end of the year? They weren't allowed to dance from week 12 through 17 because Tomlin got mad at all and told them to stop.
I don't remember that. Combs, do you remember him ever getting?
They all had a talk in the lock. They literally, the press report came out, and they apparently all sat down Juju, like the entire team did, and they were like, "Dude, like we're done with the social media stuff. Like you need to cut this out."
Just because he started getting himself freaking killed on the field, and he was pissed. Like, look, there are a set of standards that players have. It's kind of like the unwritten rules, so to speak. You look at guys like the one that I take the most, the one person that had me change my mind was the Pete Rose incident. So I used to be huge. Oh, Pete Rose needs to be in the Hall of Fame. Pete Rose is this, Pete Rose is that. Until I went to a baseball dinner in Boston, and Johnny Bench was there. And Johnny Bench said, look, he does not belong in the Hall of Fame because... Hey, you caught me off guard there. He does not belong in the Hall of Fame because he broke the one rule we have in the locker room, and that is do not bet on baseball. And that's when I changed my stance. So if the players in the locker room are saying, hey, look, you're crossing a line here, don't cross that line, then that's between them. Like, that's something that they can handle themselves behind the scenes. But don't make that, don't say that that's the reason why we're getting beat on the field. You're getting beat on the field. You started out the season, what was it, 11-0?
Yeah.
Yeah,
then
but
just
didn't really play
disappeared.
anybody.
And then just disappeared. Well, regardless, you play anybody or not,
they were the worst.
they're
I
still,
said that too. I literally said this is the worst 11-0 team, and they were going to lose
they beat
that
the
week.
Titans.
I called it.
They beat the Titans, and they had already beaten the Browns twice.
They beat the Titans, and they beat a Browns team that wasn't mature yet. Baker Mayfield against the Ravens was where Baker Mayfield became a different animal. And they did not beat the Browns every single time. The Browns creamed them in the playoffs.
He said the first 2 times.
Oh, well, still. The
Joseph
Browns,
wants
that
to
apparently
come at
didn't
me.
work
I
out
don't know
too
what's
much.
going on here. He's saying open the phones, open them. Joseph wants to talk to me.
So
Jeez.
We have phone lines now?
We have phone lines?
We got phone lines. I'm
Oh,
a
boy.
jack of all trades, master of none. I could do a lot of stuff that you guys don't know about. Like I've been
Joseph, you don't want none of this smoke, man. You get on the phone if you want to, but you don't want none of this smoke.
So we are going to open the phone lines up tonight during shop talk. So when you call in, be prepared for a question, and we are not going to have like this little banter back and forth. You're going to come with a question. You're going to ask the boys, and then whoever you ask can answer that question, and then you can rebuttal.
You're not going to give Joseph his minute?
But I'm telling you guys right there, as soon as you drop any F-bombs, because I don't like editing stuff. I've dropped enough F-bombs to I made enough sexual references.
You gotta edit the entire show.
I gotta edit that. I gotta edit that all out. So this last 15 minutes, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do it. So if Combs, can you go ahead and go to the banners and go ahead and play the phone line over the phone line over the break?
I can. Let's
we will
do
open it up, guys. We'll open it up after the break. So just for you guys during Shop Talk, we'll be right back here on the Man Hour. And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckheist along with Brandon Combs and the Wyatt Williams tonight. If you missed any part of the show whatsoever, head over to manhourradio.com and you can check out the podcast corner over there, or you can simply go over to youtube.com/Man Hour. You can also check out all the clips that we upload every day here. So
I
get a
hope
caller
Soup
yet?
Boss is calling in, man. I hope Soup Boss is calling. Did you see that crap he posted? He said, is the smoke you speak of from the speed of the plastic lid coming off the cream cheese container?
So I don't even know what that means. But we did have a caller.
He's calling me fat.
we did have a caller come in, but apparently he didn't want to smoke because he hung up. So caller, you can't call in the middle of
812-406-8384. Come on. Joey, call in.
There we go. There's the caller. Here we go.
What's the number?
What is up? Who we have on the phone line here tonight?
Yo, it's Joseph.
This is Joey.
Joseph, what is going on, brother?
Man, I got to ask Combs a question about that comment about Tom Brady.
Go for it.
So, what in your right mind do you think, like, Aaron Rodgers is better than Tom Brady? What in right mind?
Ooh, shots
think
fired.
that?
What in my right mind? The fact that Aaron Rodgers in his entire career has thrown 3 pick sixes. Tom Brady has done that in the season every year in his entire career. Okay? Not only that, but there is only one quarterback that has ever thrown for over 4,000 yards and less than 5 interceptions, and he's done it twice, and that's Aaron Rodgers. So,
Damn.
The numbers are there. The reason why Tom Brady has been better than Aaron Rodgers is because of the system that he played in, because the organization that he played in built around him. The organization that he played in played to his strengths and allowed him to succeed. They did not do that in Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers was not allowed to do the things that made Aaron Rodgers great because they did not do the things to give him the weapons that he needed to play to his strengths. The New England Patriots did that for Tom Brady. If you watch Aaron Rodgers and you watch Tom Brady play, they are both extremely phenomenal. I have Tom Brady as number 1, Aaron Rodgers as number 2 all time. That would be my list. And it's not even close with the rest of the list, but Aaron Rodgers is more mobile than Tom Brady. He's more accurate than Tom Brady. He's got a stronger arm than Tom Brady.
Yeah, but that didn't translate over at all into Super Bowls. That didn't translate over at all into passing yards. It didn't translate over into
because
passing
of the
touchdowns.
Organization.
Tom Brady is better than Aaron Rodgers in every aspect, and that is coming from a guy who legitimately would, if Nikki broke up with me and Aaron Rodgers wanted to date me, then I would date Aaron Rodgers. You heard it here, okay? That is who this is coming from, all right?
That's weird.
I'm just joking, but I'm just saying I'm a big fan of Aaron Rodgers. But
thanks for the call, Joseph.
Yeah, thanks, Joseph. We appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
All right, so we do have another caller on the line. Let me go ahead and give this caller a call back here.
I bet it's Tori.
I don't know how to.
Please be Soup Boss.
2 or 3 phones at the same time, apparently. What is up? Can you hear us?
Well, no, it's not. It's the Soup Boss. That's who it is.
There it is. Soup Boss. What's going on, man?
Jeez. Come on, Combs. What the hell is the matter with you? You make me come on here just so I have to put you up straight.
What's going on, Soup Boss?
Listen, first off, the fact that you try to give any type of advice as a Bears fan about what the hell Aaron Rodgers should do is an obvious ploy for you to just not have to face him twice a year. So all your talk about how they're going to go and sweep him off to San Francisco because he's suddenly going to be somehow happier after he got all pissy pants because they drafted a quarterback in the first round. You think he's going to go to another team for it, or they're going to swap off another? So they're going to have 2 first-round quarterbacks.
Did I not say this on TSS the day after they drafted Jordan Love? Didn't I say this?
You just are looking for any reason to not face him twice a year.
What are you talking? Soup Boss, did I not call this over a year ago on our show when you and I had our show together on TSS? Did I not say this was happening?
What?
I said that this was going to be Aaron Rodgers last year in Green Bay. I said it was going to be Aaron Rodgers last year in Green Bay.
People that said that he wasn't happy. Who gives a crap what you said about it? That's been going on for 3 to 4 years. That doesn't mean all these magical scenarios that you're putting up. The only worst one was when I heard all of a sudden Cleveland and Green Bay or whatever the heck came up there about some.
That was Wyatt.
Some trade between them. That made me want to vomit slightly. No offense, bud, but I mean, that's not going to happen.
It was on
For
ESPN.
the love of God, I'm tired. Like, you find every weird friggin' stat you possibly can to make a point. Your first point to that caller was, do you know how many pick sixes Aaron Rodgers has thrown? And do you know how many Tom Brady throws? He throws it every season. Do you know how many damn rings Tom Brady has on his fingers? Do you know how many Super Bowl trips? They've got a stellar running back, top 5 in the league, a top maybe 3 wide receiver, a great offensive line, but no, the organization which stacks 5'2" white wide receivers who were packing groceries the year before around Tom Brady, and somehow the Patriots organization does so much better.
Dude, you're talking about they gave him Jordy Nelson, who was a glorified Wes Welker.
Whoa.
Hold on now.
Whoa.
I mean, so you're just going to ignore the other wide receivers? You're going to pull out that one and ignore that and just say that?
No, we can't
That
ignore.
was his
Jordy Nelson's a legend.
That was his top wide receiver until they went out and they've got one of the best wide receivers in the game right now. Absolutely,
They got the best wide receiver in the game.
But they've got one.
Exactly. So last year they go 13-3. They have the number 1 seed in the NFC. They've got a top 5 running back. They got arguably the top wide receiver potentially.
And they got
in
an
the game
idiot
last
coach
year.
who decided to kick the ball instead of trying to score a touchdown.
And the team didn't do anything because they drafted a quarterback in the first round. You sound like pissy pants Aaron Rodgers, Cole. Get out of here.
Get out of here.
I love you, Soup Boss.
They didn't do anything for they didn't do anything less for him compared to Tom Brady. You're out acting like the New England Patriots. Yeah, of course they went out and they got the Corey
If
Dillon and they
Aaron
got,
Rodgers,
Randy Moss.
let me ask you this, Soup Boss. If Aaron Rodgers was in New England his entire career, would he have won as many Super Bowls as Tom Brady?
No.
Oh, you're out of your mind.
No.
Absolutely not.
You're out of
Big
your
difference.
mind.
Because you want to.
You're right. He wouldn't have won as many. He would have won more.
Instead of watching the difference, you don't watch the difference with your eyeballs. It's the same argument with Drew Brees. Do you know how many more yards Drew Brees is throwing for? And how many? Who gives a crap? At the end of the day, you can fling the football all around the today's NFL. It doesn't make you a guaranteed winner. Want to know how I know? Because Davis Winston's somehow a top 10 quarterback because he throws for 6,000 yards according to Cole.
He's still a top 10 quarterback. And you know what? He was the best quarterback on the New Orleans Saints roster last year. And the only reason they didn't play him was because they didn't want to have the conflict with Drew Brees. And you know what? He's going to go ahead and lead the New Orleans Saints to an NFC title this year. Chew on that, Soup Boss.
Combs, I got to congratulate you. I appreciate the fact that you love relationships with people so much that you did not break your relationship with your crack dealer, because obviously you're smoking the same stupid stuff you were last year. I cannot believe that you think that he was the best damn quarterback on that team.
Oh, he absolutely was.
Interception numbers don't make you, just because you have the most interceptions doesn't make you
It was
a great
one
quarterback.
season of high interception numbers.
It was not one season.
Freaking Brett Favre made an entire career out of it, and he's in the Hall of Fame.
Totally different. Brett Favre actually won games, not 3 and 13.
That's the difference. And that's the difference in your argument with Rodgers. You're only going with stats. You're not going with wins. And though Aaron Rodgers still won, when it was every time the pressure is on Aaron Rodgers' shoulders, he messes up. He messes something up. He doesn't have good relationships with coaching staff for them to trust him like last year in the NFC Championship game. If he wasn't such a deal weave in the locker room, he probably would have had more trust, as opposed to when Tom Brady would look at Bill Belichick, who's known as the biggest freaking grump on the face of the earth, and said, hey, we're going to go for it. He let him do it. Why? Because he trusted him. You can't trust Aaron Rodgers because he's got a bad attitude. It's known he's got a bad attitude. You can swing the ball all you want. You can throw less pick sixes than anyone else. I don't care, but you've got to win. And when the pressure's on, what do you do to be clutch? It's the clutch factor. And Aaron Rodgers chokes when the biggest spotlight is put on him. And that is the difference. That's the difference between a winning quarterback and a really, really, really good quarterback.
Hey, Soup, I want to tell you two things, all right? I want to tell you two things. One, you're right. I just want Aaron Rodgers out of Green Bay. Two, I freaking miss you, and I love you, man. I miss you. I'll talk to you later.
All right, brother.
All right, Sue Boss. Thanks for the call, man.
All right, peace.
Dude, that guy knows his shit, man. Me and him used to have some great wars on TSS. He knows his stuff, but he's wrong.
So hang on there, Colm. So during that whole little rant there, you brought up several things here, and why I want to throw you under the bus here too. You guys said that Aaron Rodgers has the best receiver in the league. Combs, you have flat out here and said, and I said it, that the Green Bay Packers have a top 5 receiver core in all of the NFL. Lazard, right here, Wyatt, is the best number 2 receiver in all of football.
No, he's
No,
not.
I did not say that. I did not say he was
not.
the best. I said he is a good wide receiver 2 option. He is one of the best wide receiver 2 options when he is healthy. That is what I said. I did not say he was the best. I said he is one of the best wide receiver 2 options out there.
So
He's not, though.
But you guys keep saying that there's no weapons around him, and he has.
He's got
Adams,
one
he
weapon.
Has Alan Mirage. He has Mercedes Vettel Stanton.
Mercedes Benz. It's like a vanilla wafer. He's got.
I had a sneeze coming. I was trying to get it out, but
he does not. He does not have weapons. He's got Devontae Adams. That's all he's got. There is no weapons in Green Bay. I'm sorry.
Lazard, Funchins.
Lazard is not a good weapon.
Never played a single snap for Green Bay.
Funchess wasn't even a weapon in Carolina when he was their top wide receiver. He definitely was not.
So for you guys not to say that he doesn't have talent around him is absolutely asinine to even think that. Like, he has the best receiving core in the NFL, at least top 5, easily.
Negative. You're wrong.
Wyatt has said that
he's got one wide receiver, but Alan Lazard is not a top number 2.
And Colm, sorry, man. We got to mute you because you are on your first night back, man. And welcome back to the show. Wyatt, send us out.
Man Hour Nation, rise up, baby.
After Hour Show has started, guys, at
That's my damn line.
/manhour. The Aftershow link is in the description below the show that you're watching here at youtube.com/manhour. Join us here on the Man Hour or After Hour Show right now, guys, as that gets started. Have a good night. See you next week.
After Hours.